Good morning. Hi.
Hello,
This is Kim.
this is Andy.
We're going to read to you from the Urantia book. First, we're going to read a little bit from Light the Flame by Andrew Harvey. Okay, so today is July 4th. Happy birthday, America.
Yeah.
Woohoo, woohoo.
Happy 4th of July.
Yep. I forgot to wear my red, white, and blue, so I wore green instead. So it's okay. All right, so this is from Elizabeth Lesueur, who was a French poet, mystic. So she lived from 1866 to 1914. That's pretty young. She died when she was 48, I guess. 47.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, never heard of her before, so let's do this. Okay, Lord, in our lives there are hours completely covered in darkness. Sad hours in which the veil cast over the heart hides even those that could comfort us, in which we suffer in a way that nothing on earth can save us. In such hours, Lord, may your weak hands still clasp your feet on the cross. May our weak hands, not your weak hands, sorry. In such hours, may our weak hands still clasp your feet on the cross. May our weary hands still lean against your pierced hands. May our shattered hearts press against yours, that has suffered so infinitely and still always blazes with compassion and hope for all. Okay, I'm seeing a lot in this. I see the pain of isolation here in this first part. The veil that hides even those that could comfort us. So we're behind this veil and we can't pierce this veil to find comfort for ourselves in our loneliest state. And our weak hands still cling to your feet on the cross and lean against your pierced hands. So I think that this hope of Christ is in being able to endure all this huge amount of suffering and still not lose touch with who we really are.
Mm-hmm. And to live your life with compassion and hope.
Right.
Is key.
Yeah. Compassion and hope, the last line. So still we can suffer all this and still live like Christ did, with compassion and hope, and not give up, even in the darkest time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's, I think, fundamentally, the message of the Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you can still be who you are. You don't have to succumb to that, to despair, even if no matter how much you suffer.
I think it's a good message for the 4th of July, that our nation has a history of compassion and hope. We welcome people in need. That's the Statue of Liberty. That's our legacy handed down to us from past generations. And I think that needs to be uplifted today.
Right. That's not who we've become, is it?
Well, I guess that's to be determined, but we need to lift that up.
Yep. Lady Liberty.
As far as I know, they haven't changed the words on the statue yet.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
I haven't changed it to send us just your best people.
Yeah, right. To send us just your best people. Oh, but a lot of the time it is the best people that come. I mean, some of those are political refugees and people who are exiled for having the nerve to stand up and try to change something, or you know what I mean, or that can see that. Yeah, that is a lot of times the best people who will try to escape.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
So
All right.
what are we doing here?
We're reading part 8 here. Section 8, the Trinity Beyond the Infinite of paper 10. Last section of paper 10. Okay. Many truths and facts pertaining to the Paradise Trinity can only be even partially comprehended by recognizing a function that transcends the finite. It would be inadvisable to discuss the functions of the Trinity of ultimacy, but it may be disclosed that God the Ultimate is the Trinity manifestation comprehended by the Transcendentalers. Let's look that up. Transcendentalers. So that's people who go outside of physical existence, outside of the body, I think, or yeah, transcendent. Oh yeah. Transcendentalers. Levels of reality, abstinate reality. So there's 1,000 groups of super citizens of paradise that are transcendentalers. They're also known as abstinators. Okay, they're attached to the core of mortal finaliters. They have nothing to do with super universes or Havona, but they are concerned with the super administration of the master universe. So that's the larger universe. The grand universe is the seven and Havona. The master universe is all that's beyond there. Okay, so transcendentalers. Okay. Neither creators nor creatures. They are ever loyal. They are eventuated, not created. Okay, so these are, I think, yeah, I don't know what I have to. It says that they're also associated here with senior architect of the master universe is the chief of. They're subject to God, the ultimate. Okay, so that's because I always think of, okay, this ultimate is the level of thoughts and putting our best ideas into play. So these are the architects of the best ideas that we use to create with. Okay, that's the best I got. I don't even know. Okay, they're thought beings, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Read the sentence again where it's mentioned.
It would be inadvisable to discuss the functions of the Trinity of ultimacy, but it may be disclosed that God the Ultimate is the Trinity manifestation comprehended by the Transcendentalers. So the Transcendentalers are subject to God the ultimate. I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they're the subjects of God the ultimate.
Mhm.
All right?
Mhm.
Okay. We are inclined to the belief that the unification of the master universe is the eventuating act of the ultimate and is probably reflective of certain but not all phases of the absonite over control of the paradise trinity. Okay, so the master universe is all the potential stuff that's out there.
Mhm.
So this is the so the unification of the master universe, bringing that into the fold of the grand universe, into creation, okay, is the eventuating act of the ultimate and is probably reflective of certain but not all phases of the absonite over control of the paradise trinity. Okay, so that has to do with the will of the paradise trinity, and the ultimate is being used by the trinity to go out here and format all of creation outside of the so this is like early stages of development out there in that real
Mhm.
estate out there that's wilderness right now.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
The ultimate is a qualified manifestation of the Trinity in relation to the Absonite, only in the sense that the Supreme thus partially represents the Trinity in relation to the finite. So again, the ultimate and the Supreme are not perfect representations of the Trinity. They're evolving.
Okay.
Okay, but you're talking about levels of reality. The Supreme is associated with the finite, with physical, and whatever is confined to time and space.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Ultimate levels of reality are kind of in between the super divine, the absolute, which is the highest level, and they're higher level of reality than just the physical, than the supreme. Okay.
Mhm.
So those beings here in the ultimate are they're subject to time in a way, but not to space.
Mm.
They're outside of space. I know, because they're thought forms. A thought takes up no space,
Right.
right?
Mhm. Until it manifests.
Until it manifests. So this is the early stages here, because how you manifest, how you enact a plan. First, you have to have an idea.
Mhm.
Okay, this is deep shit. I know, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is.
So it's that here. So when those plans get higher, they're the absonite is like the highest plans or whatever. Okay, and these things are eventuated, so they're not created. They come into being as a matter of course. Okay, so there's no intent to create that level of reality. It
Mhm.
just kind of comes into being as a matter of course.
Okay. Eventuated.
It's not a direct creation. It's
Consequence.
it's implied. Yeah, or in yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
I know.
It's heavy.
It's so awful. I know. All right. God have mercy on us here, your poor mortal children here who are struggling today to understand your words. Okay, you go next. Okay, here. We're eating grapes today. These are wonderful green grapes. See?
Universal Father, the Eternal Son, and the Infinite Spirit are, in a certain sense, the constituent personalities of total deity. Their union in the Paradise Trinity and the absolute function of the Trinity equivalent
equivalate.
to the functional of total deity.
Hmm.
And such completion of deity transcends both the finite and the absonite.
Okay.
While no single person of the paradise deities actually fills all deity potential, collectively all three do. Three infinite persons seem to be the minimum number of beings required to activate the pre-personal and existential potential of total deity, the deity absolute.
Okay. So, okay, go ahead.
We know the universal Father, the eternal Son, and the infinite Spirit as persons, but I do not personally know the deity absolute. I love and worship God the Father. I respect and honor the deity absolute.
Okay. So I was talking about this in an earlier episode here. Okay, so the three members of the Trinity here, they're all persons, separate beings by themselves.
Mhm.
But when they function in their official capacity,
Mhm.
only when they function in their official capacity as this triune deity, that's one thing together, that's the highest potential of deity. So that's
Mhm.
the total thing. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's the highest thing. So that fulfills, what does it say? Yeah, all three infinite persons seems to be the minimum number of beings required to activate the pre-personal and as existential potential of total deity, the deity absolute. So the deity absolute is all three functioning together in a unified capacity.
Is that the supreme or the ultimate or both?
That's above, that's the absolute.
Absolute. Okay.
Okay? That's the absolute.
Which is above ultimate.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Okay. And these are just words, they're just terms. It's like I didn't pick them. I don't know. To me, you know what I mean? In our language, supreme and ultimate mean kind of the same thing, sort of. You know what I mean?
Normally they would.
But here they're just picking these words to designate these more specific meanings. Okay.
I once sojourned in a universe where a certain group of beings taught that the finaliters in eternity were eventually to become the children of the deity absolute. But I am unwilling to accept the solution of the mystery which enshrouds the future of the finaliters.
Okay. So we are potentially the finaliters. Okay.
Mhm.
So when we become perfected beings, okay, we are the ones that trudge through all this time and labor through all this uncertainty
Mhm.
to when we finally reach perfect status of perfected being,
Mhm.
then we'll join this core of finaliters, which is kind of waiting there for everybody to get through this here. And then at that point, then what will be the job or the mission of these finaliters is kind of a mystery. It's like what is that? Okay, what are they doing? And there's a lot of conjecture you'll find about what they'll have in store for us. What are we going to do? Some people say they're going to take us out into the master universe and have us create more things out there.
Hmm.
And but I think what's assuring to me is that I don't have to sit on some cloud and play a harp all the rest of eternity.
Mhm.
That's really good. I want to do stuff. So there's going to be stuff for us to do. Okay. Okay.
Nothing against harp playing.
No, harp playing is nice. Yeah. So, but this here, so they're saying that maybe the finaliters in eternity will eventually become the children of the deity absolute. So maybe we are the children of the deity absolute. But this writer here says, no, I'm not going to go with that. Okay, so to me, you know what? This says more to me that this was written by a person.
Right.
Because here, this kind of a statement here, why would, if it was a person writing this, why would they say something that they don't believe in just so they, because none of this is really comprehensible on a deep, on a really sound level. So why would this person bring up all this stuff we can barely understand anyway, and then say, well, I don't really believe that. You know what I mean? Right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So a rational person, like educated person, would lay out the formula for this is what's true. It's just like, well, some people are saying this, but I don't really believe that. But I once sojourned in a universe where a certain group of beings thought that these people are a certain group of beings who we don't know who they are teaching that the finaliters are the sons and daughters or the children of the deity absolute. I would even say that.
Right.
Okay, anyway. Do I keep going or do you want me to go?
I'll go.
Okay.
The core of the finality embrace, among others, those mortals of time and space who have attained perfection in all that pertains to the will of God. As creatures and within the limits of creature capacity, they fully and truly know God. Having thus found God as the Father of all creatures, these finaliters must sometime begin the quest for the super infinite Father.
Super finite.
Super finite Father.
Right.
But this quest involves the grasp of the absonite nature of the ultimate attributes and the character of the Paradise Father. Eternity will disclose whether such an attainment is possible, but we are convinced, even if the finaliters do grasp this ultimate of divinity, they will probably be unable to attain the super ultimate levels of absolute deity.
Okay, so this author believes that even though, okay, we can achieve a lot here, probably we won't be able to achieve absolute deity. Okay, which, you know what, I'm not I don't know if I want to be an absolute deity anyway.
Right.
That's a pretty heavy thing. Okay. But at least one person out there is saying that. One teacher out there is saying that. All right. These finaliters, having thus found God as the Father of all creatures, these finaliters must sometime begin the quest for the super finite Father. So the Father, the super finite Father here, if they found God, so we go to this journey to find God the Father at the center of the Isle of Paradise. But now they're saying, okay, well, maybe we need to go and find the super finite Father. Right? But this quest involves a grasp of the absonite nature of the ultimate attributes. Right? And character of the Paradise Father. The Father of all creatures. See, now, and I don't know if that might pertain to God the Supreme. I don't know. No, I don't think so. Because he's only a Father of Majeston. He's like a okay. Receiving all of our thought, all of our experience, soul energy. Okay. Eternity will disclose whether such an attainment is possible. So we don't know.
Mhm.
Even if if we grasp the ultimate, we probably won't be able to grasp the absolute. So absolute is where all things are united, all things are just one. That's just it. The buck stops there.
Mhm.
So ultimate,
So there is an end to our development.
there's an end to our development. Yeah. We will become perfected beings. But that doesn't
We
mean,
won't go beyond that.
well, I mean, yeah. But they're going like further, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. But that's fine. At this point, it's like, okay, it's just fine. I think that's a good enough way to say it. I don't know what else to say about this. This is pretty head trippy stuff. So it'd be hard enough to grasp the ultimate of divinity,
Mhm.
but to live in a place where all things are just one, without decomposing into the unqualified absolute, right? Where
Mhm.
everything is just, I don't care about anything,
Mhm.
right? Because that's potential, that's pure
Mhm.
potential. So we have to have this union of action and potential
Mhm.
within the framework of the absolute.
Right.
Okay. Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
It may be possible that the finaliters will partially attain the deity absolute, but even if they should, still in the eternity of eternities, the problem of the universal absolute will continue to intrigue, mystify, baffle, and challenge the ascending and progressing finaliters. For we perceive that the unfathomability of the cosmic relationships of the universal absolute will tend to grow in proportion as the material universes and their spiritual administration continue to expand.
Right.
Only infinity can disclose the Father infinite.
Sponsored by Universal Censor, acting by authority from the Ancients of Days, resident on Uversa.
Yeah.
So, and we talk about the absolute also. Remember the yin yang,
Mm-hmm.
the idea the universal absolute is the line in between them.
Mm-hmm.
The yin and the yang would be the deity absolute, and the yin would be the unqualified absolute. So when all of those things are together, but that's an impersonal mechanism too. See, at the point where they're personalized, then
Mhm.
it's not only perfect, but it's personal,
Mm-hmm.
where you can put that together. It's
Mhm.
like so that yeah, or yeah. So how can something be like totally perfect? That means it's like almost stationary, not moving, and still have a personal will and stuff like that, and be able to do things. Okay.
So, on our journey to become perfect as the Father is perfect,
Mm-hmm.
there comes a point where we can't go any further in our journey.
Yeah. And they're just debating over where that point is, basically. Yeah.
Right.
Where is that point? So, but I think what's important to me is that there's not a point where um, I need to be just inactive or inert. Okay, so perfection of this sort doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be inactive or inert,
Mhm.
because that's where my mind goes when I become more and more calm, more and more still, more and more, and then you just like, okay. But I think there's phases where we go through that, but that times when we're resting and meditating, but then you come out of it and you go do stuff. You go work on things, but it's a cycle here.
Aren't
And my
aren't we worrying about something that's so far ahead?
Yeah, I
We
know.
don't need to worry about
Yeah,
that.
pretty much. Yeah.
We're concerned with our education and development here on Urantia, really, knowing that there are great things beyond.
Great things beyond.
But
Yeah.
it's like trying to teach the intricacies of retirement planning at the grade school level. You don't need to worry about that yet. You need to grow up first.
Yeah. I always say we're like ants that saw the moon and trying to go to the moon. Like, right? Ants on a hill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that big thing over there. Let's try to go there. So they're trying to figure out how to go to the moon.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
The Trinity beyond the finite.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it, guys. Next time it's paper 11, the Isle of Paradise. And I know that gets more sciencey and stuff too.
I like science.
Yeah, this is wild though. This is here we're talking about space respiration pretty soon.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
I'm in.
Andy's up for that. All
I'm
right.
in.
Okay. All right, we'll see you next time.
All right. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So that went for a while. Yeah. That's some crazy